What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel.
My name is April.
My name is Rondell, and we are excited to get at you guys today. To all of our new subscribers, we want to say thank you for hitting that sub button.
And all of you guys who have already been subscribed, who have been with us forever, thank you guys for your continued support.
And if you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, you guys. You will not be disappointed because we listen to our subs. Case in point, we hear you guys. We're listening to you, we watch you in the comments, and a lot of you have gotten at us in these comments telling us you want more. More information and more places to go if you are unvaccinated. Our video today is all about Freedom Countries, part 2.
It's very interesting because we did a video recently about countries that are accepting unvaccinated travelers and came across this term that's being dubbed Freedom Countries.
Yeah, man, I like it. It really fits because this madness called COVID is tearing apart the nation, tearing apart households, and have people caught in the middle of this debate, which I don't even think is a viable debate. The vaccinated and the unvaccinated are passing this virus on to their friends and families and people that they don't know. So the restrictions that have been held up, keeping people who are unvaccinated inside of their own countries and unable to travel are absolutely ridiculous, which is why we made the list in the first place.
The countries that we're listing today are always changing and updating what their entry requirements are. So always be sure to check that country's requirements before you're traveling. There's also a really awesome resource called ivisa.com where you can check the current and most up-to-date travel restrictions or entry requirements depending on where you're traveling to.
Now, first and foremost, we'll just want to give a shout out to some countries who actually freed up and took the restrictions off of their countries. Ireland and the UK, we give you guys a round of applause, allowing people to come into your borders without being vaccinated. So
now, if you saw our first video or if you've been following the channel, you know that personally for us, we chose to get vaccinated, but
it's a choice.
It's definitely a choice. And so the list of countries that we're talking to you about today are specifically countries that are open to unvaccinated travelers.
All right, so without any further ado, let's climb into it. We're gonna start this list in an area that we both like to frequent.
Right, that's the Caribbean.
Yeah, man.
So the following countries are in the Caribbean, and we're starting off with the country of Costa Rica.
Costa Rica is extra free, okay? They have 0 travel restrictions in regards to how you enter the country.
Right, 0 tests are required before entry or on arrival. The only caveat here is that unvaccinated travelers will have to show proof of medical insurance that can cover any sort of COVID-related expenses in the country.
I think this may be the wave of the future. You're gonna have to be able to afford your hotel room, your drinks, your excursions, and you're gonna have to have travel insurance.
Now, Costa Rica is a beautiful country, pura vida, a country full of beautiful scenery, beaches. It has the Caribbean coast and it also has Pacific coast. So an awesome place to have a vacation or to travel long term if you want.
Several different excursions, lots of wildlife, lots of beautiful, colorful fruits to eat and drink, and more importantly is their price of living is relatively inexpensive in comparison to like the UK, Canada, and the US. So next up, you guys, we're gonna talk about a country that butts up right next to Costa Rica, which is
the beautiful country of Panama.
Panama. Now, this is a country that we've traveled to that we really enjoy. You don't have to worry about the exchange rate if you're from the US because they use the USD.
Their capital city, Panama City, was surprising to us because it was very beautiful, very modern, very family friendly.
It was nice kicking it with the people there. They're very friendly, very approachable. They speak English very well there, and it's just a beautiful city to behold.
Now, Panama has restrictions for unvaccinated travelers. So if you're vaccinated, you're fine to enter the country. But for unvaccinated travelers, you have to take a PCR or antigen test 72 hours before arrival.
Now, they have these things they call high-risk countries. And if you're coming from one of these high-risk countries, then you need to quarantine. You have to pre-book a hotel for 3 days, stay there, and then take another PCR or antigen test.
Check their website to find out what those countries are that are considered high risk for Panama.
Next up, mine, is the beautiful country, Jamaica.
The country with some of the best food in the Caribbean.
Look, this is a favorite destination for people from around the world. Everybody likes hanging out in Jamaica.
This is a country that Rondell gets mistaken from being from because of his hair.
Seriously. Now, great rum, great food all the way around. Get you some jerk chicken, some jerk pork. I mean, eat well. Tons of different resorts. They even have a little nudist beach, nudist resort, and all kinds of different stuff goes down in Jamaica. Land of adventure, skydiving, anything that you can imagine that you want to do, you can do in that Jamaican sun and that Caribbean Sea. So
now Jamaica is open for vaccinated and unvaccinated travelers. The only thing you have to do is take a PCR or antigen test 72 hours before arrival.
Next up is a country that's near and dear to our hearts, where we got married at, the Dominican Republic.
Yes, it's a beautiful, beautiful country that is really, really popular for all-inclusive resorts.
Beautiful country, lots of beautiful landscapes, lots of seascapes. I remember driving along that coast and just being mesmerized as I was driving by the sea. Just a beautiful country to behold. If you get a chance to kind of drive through that country, I highly recommend it.
Beautiful. The DR does have some restrictions.
Now, similar to Panama, they have listed some high-risk countries.
Some specific African countries that are just completely banned from coming to the DR if you've been in those countries 2 weeks prior to your planned trip here. Definitely check the government's website, check ivisa.com to find out which of those African countries apply as being like a banned country for the DR.
They have some other craziness too, man. If you're from particular countries, you don't have to test negative for anything.
Right, so arrivals from the US, Canada, Argentina, Mexico, Chile, Colombia, Panama, France, Germany, Italy, Russia, and Puerto Rico do not need a negative test result to enter the DR.
But everybody else has to take an antigen or a PCR.
They will stop random people in the airport to do like
breath
a breath test, right? So,
and if you got COVID on your breath, quarantine, automatic, out your pocket.
The next on the list is an island that's a part of the ABC Islands. It's the sea.
ABC, Aruba,
Bonaire,
and Curacao. Yeah, you guys. So this is another island paradise, another island country, and it is beautiful. Colorful little houses up and down the island. Some of the best scuba diving in the world is found there, and it's good for beginning scuba divers as well. So, you know, maybe that's some place we can go figure this scuba diving thing out.
True.
But it's a very, very beautiful country, excellent for a good getaway, great vacation, and maybe you can do all 3 of the ABC islands. That'd be nice. What are their travel requirements?
You have to present a negative PCR test 48 hours before arrival.
Okay.
But you also have to schedule a pre-booked test on day 3 of your stay, just to check and see what your status is and if you're gonna have to quarantine or not.
Now, I don't know about you guys. We're gonna take a pause for the cause, man. These little tests, these PCR tests where they swab your brain and get the back of your eyeball, man, we just had to do a couple of them, and man, I swear it seems like they go deeper and deeper and deeper with that thing, yo. So these countries that allow you to just slide in are extra convenient and have me looking a bit closer at. How about you? So now, you guys, a list would not be a list without bringing up the motherland.
Had to go to the motherland.
Come on now.
We had a few people in our comments who told us that they believe the majority of the African continent to have really easy entry requirements for unvaccinated travelers.
That is not proven to be true. But there are 2 countries that we're going to highlight today. One is the southernmost tip of Africa. We're talking about South Africa. Look, big game, mega metropolis. This is just a world marvel and one of the countries that we are getting to.
And they have pretty easy entry requirements, as the only thing you need is a negative PCR test taken within 72 hours before your departure.
So that was easy. No high-risk countries. Take your test, enter the country, and enjoy yourself. We can't wait to get down there, do us a safari, check out the national parks, and parlay the city life and see what it's really like. Now, another country in Africa is a little bit distinctive, right? The spoken language is actually English. Namibia, you guys. What are the travel requirements to get into Namibia?
Namibia is very similar to South Africa, where a PCR test is needed 72 hours before arrival. But if you are showing symptoms upon arrival, then you might be randomly taken aside to be tested.
Right. So Namibia is famous for its skeletal coast, where lots of ships have been wrecked, like the Atlantic Ocean ship graveyard area. They're open and they speak English, and it's in Africa, so I'm gonna check it out. Next up, guys, we're gonna creep on into Europe, into one of the areas that I really want to check out, the Balkan region, the Balkan Peninsula.
And we're starting with the country of Albania.
Albania, she made it on another list of ours. We were talking about being a digital nomad, some prime countries to check out, and this is one of them. You get a year long stay, visa-free in Albania if you are a U.S. citizen.
True. So it's been really popular amongst digital nomad communities and like just slow travelers in the area.
The price of living is very, very, very inexpensive there. As I understand it, they welcome travelers from all nations with open arms.
They're also known to have lots of mountains, castles, and ancient ruins.
So if that's your thing, then you need to check out Albania. Now, in order to check out Albania, they make it real easy. You got to meet one of 6 requirements, right?
One or five or six requirements. Either you show proof of having a vaccination, you show proof of a negative PCR test within 72 hours of arrival, or you bring a negative antigen test 48 hours from arrival, or a letter of recovery that you have gotten well from having COVID.
Love these countries that respect you building up natural antibodies instead of getting an injection. You know what I mean? Now, we done had the shot and we done had COVID, so I don't know if we some Teflon Dons right now or what, but you know, pop goes the weasel. So that's one of the countries on the Balkan Peninsula that we knew about, that we want to tell you guys about. What's the other one?
Serbia.
Now, inside of travel groups, Serbia is a big, big name. It's one of the most inexpensive countries in Europe to land in. They have an excellent food scene. It's a cold environment now, as I understand it. The winters are cold, but they know how to keep things heated up with parties and whatnot. So, travel recs for Serbia.
Travel recs. So you either need a rapid test PCR within 48 hours, an antigen test result within 48 hours.
Okay.
Fully vaccinated travelers are exempt from a COVID test.
Okay. It seems quite easy to slide on into Serbia and have a good time. All right, you guys, we're going to stay in Europe. What are we talking about, baby?
We're talking about the country of the midnight sun.
The midnight sun, Norway, you guys. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful country. Well-to-do country, nice established country where the happiness index is off the chart. What are their travel requirements?
Well, if you are an unvaccinated traveler, you must take a PCR test 24 hours from your departure. But no matter if you're vaccinated or not, all travelers must take a test on arrival.
Equal opportunity swab, y'all. And you need to take a test upon leaving as well. Deal with it. Enjoy your skiing. Enjoy your forges, or how you say it, fjords. And enjoy their beautiful, beautiful, cold but gorgeous landscape. Now, another country that has people going crazy to get into and really going to enjoy. We've lost a lot of friends to this country. You know, they're nomadic by nature, traveling the globe, and then they land in this country and just stay put.
Yes, the beautiful country that we'll probably be visiting soon.
Yeah, but we're not going to stay put. We're going to get up out of there.
Of Portugal.
Portugal, man. So this is a travel destination, a heartfelt destination for lots and lots and lots of world travelers. So it's kind of exciting that they've opened their borders up.
Portugal is known for its port wine, its delicious seafood cuisine, beautiful coast.
It's just pretty. It's a pretty, pretty, pretty area. Lots of beautiful architecture, strong ocean, strong waves crashing against the shore. It's just a beautiful place to behold just in the pictures and videos that I've seen. So I know that I want to go. I still need to find out why so many people want to call this place home. And so many people that we talk to tell us that they're going to be moving there. So, you know, I guess I'll find out when I get there. I don't know the mystique about Portugal yet.
Now, for all travelers, Portugal requires you to take a PCR or a NAT test 72 hours before arrival. If you choose the antigen test, you have to take that 42 hours before arrival. And travelers who have spent time in a few African countries in the past 14 days before their trip must take a PCR test on arrival and quarantine for 14 days.
Next up are a couple of places that are opening their borders back up. So let's give them a round of applause, my people. We're talking about the UK and Ireland, right? So what are the requirements for the UK looking like?
As of February 11th, vaccinated travelers will not need to take a test before or after arrival into the UK.
Oh, just slide in, slide out. Boom.
In.
All right, what about if you are unvaxxed?
Unvaccinated travelers will need to take a PCR or antigen test 48 hours before arrival to the UK.
Okay. So Ireland just woke up and said, to hell with everything, you guys. They flushed the toilet on all of the regulations, and they had quite a few. And now, what's the deal with Ireland?
Well, the only restriction they have is for unvaccinated travelers, which need to provide proof of a negative PCR test within 72 hours of arrival.
They did away with trying to have a COVID card to go to bars and restaurants. They're just done with this whole ordeal. So props to you, Ireland. And that concludes our list, you guys.
Now, one thing I want to say is that a lot of these countries still require some sort of health declaration or specific entry registration form that you need to fill out. So make sure that you're aware and up to date on all of that. We've mentioned iVisa a few times here because that's one of the websites that you can check to find out what sort of health declaration or locator form is required for travelers. But of course, you can also go to the government websites as well.
Yeah, those embassy sites are cool, but they are convoluted.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if after this video is published that some regulations have been updated or changed. It's always best to stay up to date.
So to all my people out there, stay safe. Don't be afraid to travel. Just use the proper precautions and enjoy your life. My name is Rondell.
My name is April.
And we'll see you guys on the other side. Peace and love, y'all.